Just the last word will give you. Yes.
İyi günler, Mehmet Ali Özden, Türkiye. Bu konularda bir general bir hareketin başlaması için data konusu süper önemli. Ben iktisatçıyım, bu konuyu çok iyi biliyorum. Mühendislik hizmetlerinin bu konuya daha hızlı bir şekilde girmesini sağlamamız lazım. Yani mühendislik şirketlerinin bugüne kadar belli bir birikim sağlamış olan çok güçlü uluslararası bir yerde. Mühendislik şirketlerinin mutlaka bir an önce devreye girmesi lazım. Yeni bir boyutta. Böyle çok daha etkin olabilecek ve bir şeylerin, datanın toplanmasında da bu çok önemlidir. Bir veri herhangi bir şekilde toplanmasıyla bir mühendisin yani mühendislik, profesyonel mühendisliğin el değmesiyle o verilerin toplanmaya başlaması çok fark eder ve işleri çok kolaylaştırır. Teşekkür ederim. İyi günler.
We thank to you, and I think we still have one more topic, and which is very interesting actually. Water and culture, under 16, 6.5, topic 6.5. We have a very long story about 6.5, but I think it's the time to speak about culture, cultural diversity, and diverse water cultures. So I'll give the floor to Professor Selahattin Erhan. Thank you. Only one panelist we have here. Okay.
Thank you. I would like to start with emphasizing that actually it's not the data, but culture, which is the most important. Really, the reason why is actually I'm not trying to tease you or criticize you. You are absolutely right. It is very significant. But without knowing which data to collect, what aspects of culture are relevant for our purposes, that's what I'm trying to say. I would rather start with a joke. Black Sea jokes is what we call them in Turkey. There was a Black Sea person who was a professor, I think a biologist, or a zoologist, I don't know, you'll understand. He caught a flea and tried to make an experiment with fleas. He said, jump to the flea, put on the table, and the flea jumped. The professor took his note. The flea jumps when said so. And then goes ahead and cuts one of the legs of the flea. And again gives the same command. Jump. Flea jumps. The second leg, and he takes notes. When you cut one leg of the flea and say jump, the flea jumps. The second leg, the same note. Third leg, the same note. Then he cuts the last leg and say jump. The flea doesn't jump. There are no legs anymore. He repeats the command, jump. No such thing. Our professor notes. Fleas don't hear when you cut all their legs. Now I think the reason why I remembered such a joke is we, the so-called professors, or as thanks to Aras Güvenç called us, most distinguished people, somehow are immune to mistakes. I am a scholar and I never make mistakes. That's the first principle. For instance, please do not misunderstand me. I have culture-related comments, actually a critical outlook to what we are actually saying. Are we aware about what we're saying? I'm sure we all are very conscious, very learned, very accumulated, but for instance, we suggest that, and I 100% support every one of these recommendations. Education, education, education. Education is the key to everything. I have no qualms about it. Believe me, I'm not mocking, I'm serious. Education, we have to transform mentalities. Yes, we have to transform mentalities. We have to embrace new technologies. The other thing, we have to deconstruct, this was the proposal actually, I think, this was the formulation, we have to deconstruct preconceptions. Believe me, by God, wallahi billahi, if you like, I do agree with all of these. But when we claim these, when we use these phrases, we use them always for the others. That is, education is ready, necessary for the others. We don't assume, we don't think that educator must be educated as well about this particular issue. The second thing is transform mentalities. Yeah, we have to transform our mentalities too, because evidently we have been failing for so long. But we don't mean that when we say these. We mean changing mentalities of the others, educating others, deconstructing preconceptions. Exactly, that's what I'm suggesting. I agree with you. We have to deconstruct preconceptions of our own, as well as trying to change the others too. That is the only way we can approach them. That's what I mean. I don't really, it's self-critique if you call it. So this is really important, because somehow we are immune. We have, unless we change this attitude, we compose a concept and we fight for our life to defend it. For instance, I have done such thing, water culture. That is the only correct concept that could ever be formulated. Who says so? I say so. Who else can? I am the significant other. I am the distinguished scholar. I have had my education in best universities in the United States. How can one challenge me? No one. I think we have to first question ourselves. What are we doing? Like, for instance, we talk about interactive teaching. Why not call it interactive learning? I am sure if I learn how to cook egg from a lady, that lady will be more ready to learn something from me. That's what I intend to say. That's how we are supposed to, as an anthropologist, as a political scientist, as a sociologist, whatever you call me. That is how I think. That's how we should approach the poor primitives, the masses, the ignorant, the backward. I'm not preaching. This is not a philosophical thought. This is what we should be doing scientifically. So, my suggestions derive from what I learned these two. I didn't learn these here. Believe me, I realized what mistakes we were doing. Many of them I learned here, this week.